Okay. All right. So welcome back, guys. Last time we had a little power outage in my neighborhood and something exploded and boop, I was gone. So
We love chaos, you know?
you know what? It wouldn't be clergy talk or any of this without some chaos. So today we have the president of Trick or Treat Studios here with us,
I
Chris,
need to
and
get
then
this in camera for you.
we're excited. We also have Bo Cooper. He's been working with Trick or Treat Studios for the past 6 years as their West Coast sales rep. And we have one of my dearest friends, Vita Devoid, here co-hosting with
Me?
me today.
Me? Oh,
Yeah,
little me?
I brought her in specifically because she does a freaking amazing burlesque performance with your guys' Papa Emeritus mask, Papa
Oh,
Emeritus
cool.
three mask.
Mhm.
And it's gone viral. It's all over the place. She's the perfect walking advertisement for that mask, by the way.
Well, now you need a father Emeritus.
I do.
I
I do,
know.
yeah.
I
Can
need,
we?
I
I
would
need
love
tickets
one.
to your dance. I want to go watch the burlesque show.
Oh my god, it is so
Yeah.
good. There's sparks. There's
It's crazy.
smoke. People screaming. There's pasties. I mean, everything
I
that.
think somebody threw up once. It was craziness. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're allergic to pasties.
I
I
know,
guess
right?
so. We're allergic to sexiness. Yeah, I ended up taking it to
Yeah.
the stage at the Metalesque Fest last year. It was freaking wild. Yeah, it was really fun. He's actually right here next to me.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
been collecting a lot of masks as well.
I have so many of your masks.
That's cool.
Speaking of mask collections, Bo, by the way, I want you to jump in at any point. Anytime we ask a question, if you got a follow-up, jump in, by the way. Chris, I would love to see this mask that you have right here. You said that you're, aside from Tobias Forge, probably the only one that has this.
Yeah. So this is
So
because
pretty.
we do the masks for the band in the aftermarket in latex. Of course, I needed a paint master, and my friend George at Immortal Masks, who now does the masks for the band for Tobias. There's another guy who actually does the masks for the Nameless Schools. So he cast a silicon master. So it was unhaired though. So I sent this to my factory, and then they use that for paint masters of the latex versions. And then they were having a little trouble with getting the hair right. So I sent it back to George and then paid an enormous amount of money to get it haired because this is all hand punched. So each fiber has to be punched into the silicon mask. So it takes an enormous amount of time and to get it done. And then this was used as the paint master for the hair for our Papa 4 mask, as well as a hair guideline for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked for it back.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Because they kind of need it. So
that's one of the best looking ones I've seen, Chris.
Well,
it's beautiful.
It's a stage. I mean, this is 100% exactly what he wears on stage. So
I would love to boop its nose at some point. So you guys were just thanked in the Ghost film. Can you get in a little into why? How did that happen?
Well, I know Immortal Masks was in there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we were in there too. It went kind of quick, so it's hard for me to see. But we've been a supporter of the band for a long, long time.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember when they played at the Great American Music Hall, which is 500 people. So it's just amazing to see the growth, and we've been there, for a long time. And I like to think that we had some influence too, right? Because we got the masks and costumes in the Party City, Hot Topic, Spirit Halloween. And, when they took the masks, they didn't know anything about the band. So, it was a lot of selling to get them to take them. So I believe that you know, brought more fans to the band, you know, because somebody would see the mask, thought it was really cool. And then there's a tag on there about the band. And that's one of the things that we've done quite a bit with independent movies, is that we offer their own hang tag on there that they can put whatever they want on there, or any call for action. So, you know, I think it's helped a lot of independent movies. We definitely were a big in growing Terrifier.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we were there when no one knew what it was. And yeah, I like to think that we helped out Ghost as well. And I can tell you that, you know, every time I've had encounters with Cardinal Copa or Papa 4, he's always been very grateful. And also in the last tour they had, you know, where you could go see the Papas, they had a lot of displays of aftermarket stuff, and our masks and our costumes were in that display backstage.
Oh, that
and
was
awesome.
So cool.
Black too, that kind of says, you know, Trick or Treat Studios mask, and, you know, Knuckle Bones, and so they had, it was pretty cool. And then they had a photo op that you could do, but this was, I wonder if, you know, you'll ever be able to do the photo ops with Papa anymore.
I know.
They've gotten so big now, but
I sure hope so.
yeah, those were always fun. I have a couple pictures up on my wall right now.
Oh, I bet you do. I met you in line for one of those, but I was dressed completely differently.
Yeah, I wonder now, they're so popular. Like, I don't know if they'll do that anymore, but those were a lot of fun. I would assume it was miserable though for Tobias, because, you know, these, you know, silicone masks don't breathe.
No.
So it's really uncomfortable, but you know that he's got the ear holes open and the mouth and eyes, but still, I mean, oof, I can't imagine how uncomfortable that must be.
Oh, they're absolutely
I wear
miserable.
a lot of silicone, and it's hilarious when you move with a chest and neck plate on, because it can fart air up into your face.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be serious through that.
Yeah, it's hardcore. I wear a silicone mask on Halloween and I'm dying, you know, after.
Oh, it's awful.
I can't imagine being in that thing for like 3 to 4 hours.
Plus the Bakersfield show was brutal because it was just underground.
Dude.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm a big guy, and I was telling Chris, I said, we got to move this along, man. I'm sweating like a stuck pig here, dude. But on Chris's point, you know, sitting in a silicone mask backstage, or you go out and perform in front of, you know, 20,000 people, you're being depleted of all your sweat and your hydro electrolytes, everything, and you're just sitting there, all for the love of fans. And that's why I respect him a lot. You know, he was sitting in the heat, full dressed, you know, ready to rock and roll, and he was, you know, taking time to say, hey, what's up to every one of his fans, you know. And I'll never forget when, you know, Chris and I walked up to him and we gave him a big box full of goodies, and he said, I'll let the big guy know that he should thank you. So he was a character the whole time, which is great.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't break character. I gave his son a Chucky doll.
Ooh.
And I asked him if Morris liked it. And he said he was dressed as Papa, and he says, I'm sure he appreciated it very much.
Oh.
Yeah, he always has a way around answering that. Like at his birthday, several times fans have sang happy birthday to him if he happens to have a show.
Yeah,
you know, at the same time. And he'll go,
I'll let him know.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Yeah, they did that at the Anaheim show. And then
we did. It was fun. After
there was a birthday party and they had this big coffin cake. It was really cool.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah,
that was an honor to go to. I appreciate that, Chris, taking me up there and hanging out with the crew and everyone celebrating his birthday. Was awesome to be a part of. But just to touch base real quick on what Chris was saying, you know, when it comes to like getting people that obviously don't know the band that well, or if they've heard of them but they don't actually see the product or the cool, you know, effects of the mask. And I take pride on that, you know, selling to my smaller mom and pop shops that have never heard of the band Ghost, but I always pitch it to them. I say, hey, there's a really hot band, you know, this is who they are, this is what they're all about. You know, they have that gothic horror, you know, satanic lifestyle presence behind them, and they take a gamble on the products, and then I always get reorders. I mean, people call me back and say, oh man, staffs, the costume, the mask, they sell out really quick. Can we order more? So that was always cool to see the building of my clientele personally loving the products because they're making money, obviously. And then knowing that I'm having a small percentage of getting the product out there to such a wider audience and spreading the Ghost name is an accomplishment, that I feel that I'm proud of as well,
That's
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
There's a small shop here in Burbank, and they had a whole window display. It's called Halloween Town. And they had a
Halloween
whole
Town.
Ghost window display, and everything has been sold out since.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That was that's Wayne and Jackie Toss place. It's really fun. I love that place.
That place is fantastic. Yeah,
they've been supporters since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, their mask wall is immaculate. That thing is like 3 stories high. It's
wonderful.
Floor to ceiling mask work. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
I was just watching a video earlier that it was a Trick or Treat Studios interview with you, Chris, from about 12 years ago. And
I had more hair.
I'll be right back, guys. My kid went outside. I got to make sure she doesn't eat poop or something.
It's good for their immune system.
Yeah, it builds character.
It is. So you said at that point 12 years ago that you were bringing 50 to 60,000 masks to customers across the world. Where are we at now with your new stats? What are you guys pulling in as far as like how many licenses are coming in? How many masks are going out? It's just, it's very incredible.
We're over 100. We're over 100 licenses.
Oh my God.
As far as the number of masks, it's tough because, it's divided now across the action figure and tabletop games and prop category. But I would say, I would say, 250,000 maybe.
Wow.
Oh my
I'd say that's successful growth.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats. Yeah.
That's probably about right. Yeah.
Is the Michael Myers mask, the Halloween license, is that still your biggest?
Yeah, for Halloween
license?
masks and costumes, definitely. Even the tabletop game sold amazing. But yeah, he's definitely up there at the top. Then you've got this year, Jason, and because so they closed all of the licensing for Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street a long time ago because of some various lawsuits. Oh. But when we acquired Dawn Post Studios and Elusive Concepts a couple of years ago, and they already had pre-approved product. So that enabled us to release it because it was pre-approved and in the marketplace prior to the lawsuits. Of course, we put our paint job on it, but the sculpture is amazing. It was done by Mario Chiodo. So yeah, so Jason is pretty popular this year. You'll see a lot of them. And hopefully Papa 4 too, with the movie.
Yes.
Helped. And obviously there's another Cardinal or Papa coming soon. And of course, Bo, I told him afterwards, did you stay for the end credits?
Did you walk out, Bo?
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, everyone fucking left.
No, you gotta stay.
The whole theater left. I had no clue. I wish someone would have enlightened me, but I didn't get the chance to see it until recently.
Yeah, I found it on YouTube for him. So
okay.
Oh.
The
piracy
I
feel like such a
quite
bad
the
guy watching
cliffhanger.
Camera, people's footage. Like I'm supporting, piracy.
Yeah.
Piracy.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was really cool. I wish they would have given you a little bit of heads up to stay because that was an awesome.
You know
scene.
better than to leave during credits with them.
Nah, we stay. I'll stay until the freaking ushers are coming in with a broom. I want to stay just in case.
Just eating the rest of your popcorn, just in case.
I'm not leaving.
That's what's happening.
Vita, let's get into a little bit more of the questions.
Yeah.
Would you like to ask about obtaining licensing?
Yeah, let me see if I can read this. I don't have my contacts in and my screen is pretty far away. Okay, I have a tiny little cocktail table in front of me. Are you ready for question number 1?
All right.
All right. How does obtaining licensing for a horror movie franchise or using imagery from the band Ghost work?
So it starts with Justin and I making a decision that we're interested in a particular license. And then depending on whether it's new or old, there can be a lot of research to get to who owns merchandise rights. And sometimes in movies, it gets very complicated. So there's distribution rights and for the actual movie or band, and then there's merchandise rights, and sometimes they're separated. But I find out who the license holder is, and then make contact with them, and hopefully they know who we are. If not, obviously we tell them who we are, and we discuss categories that we're interested in. And then assuming that there's mutual interest, we do a proposal. And some of the key components of that proposal are the terms. So how long do you want the license for? It's typically 2 years. What is the percentage on the gross that you're going to share with the band or the film? And that can vary depending upon category. And then what is the minimum guarantee that you will sign? So let's say a minimum guarantee of $25,000 means that of the royalty rate that you're getting on each unit sold, at the end of the term, you will have at least made that $25,000 in royalty payments. For if you don't, you got to cover the differences. I would say we're in the high 90s on all of our license that we exceed them substantially.
That's fantastic.
And then there's an advance that they will want against the minimum guarantee, which is typically half up front. And then you essentially have that as a credit. And because the royalties are paid on a quarterly basis. And then once you go past the advance, my light just went off. Sorry.
This
is having a power outage.
Yeah. And
oh my God, don't do that.
And once you go past that advance, then obviously you owe. And then typically when the term ends, then the whole thing is renegotiated again.
Now, Bo, are you finding that when you guys are approaching people, it's a lot easier to maintain these contracts and distribute products to these shops? Because you guys are worldwide now. I mean, just from the video I watched from 12 years ago, I mean, it's obviously grown like exponentially. Are you finding, you guys, that it's just a lot easier to get new relationships?
I feel that it's definitely a good thing that people are knowing who we are rather than me having to do a full blown pitch all the time of
and convince them why.
There are some shops that because I like to target, like I said, smaller little independent shops, record stores, pop culture shops, even sports card shops. Sometimes carry little shelves of action horror figures and stuff. But yeah, most of the time, if you're in this business of selling toys or masks or any sort of collectibles, most of the time our clientele is pretty familiar with us. It does happen though, where there's an older gentleman or an older person, and they say like, "Hey, I've never heard of you guys. What can you show me?" So I'll send them the catalog. I'll go through my pitch of this is who we are, this is what we represent, this is how long we've been around, etc. But once someone trusts us enough to see that our products move off the shelves for them, then we're in the golden state of that.
And we also do quite a bit of work to market the brand. So there's a lot of I get a lot of customers that, and I'm talking about stores, that people specifically come in asking for our stuff or asking for what's new.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I was going to say, Vita.
Every time. I
don't know if my competitors can say that, but we put a lot of emphasis in brand recognition and brand. I mean, we do, for example, the horror shows.
Yeah.
So Monsterpalooza, Son of Monsterpalooza, the major comic cons, Horror Hound, Mass Fest. We do somewhere in the neighborhood of 28 a year.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yeah, and that's worldwide. So,
Wow.
And a lot of that is for brand recognition with
Absolutely.
end
Ghost
users.
is right there, always with us,
Yeah, so that they come to the stores asking for what's new, and we even get people asking for particular sculptors of ours, like what's the new Justin Mabry mask? What's the new Eric Labate mask?
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, we really value our artists. The ones that are on commission, I mean, we are known for the highest commission rate in the industry, which is important to me because, a lot of these companies treat artists like dirt, and we value them. Their name is on every product that they are involved in making. And we also use the best factories to make sure that their work represents what they originally sculpted and painted.
Pardon me while I get my clay out and get to work. I'll be right back.
Fun.
Vita, would you do us a solid and ask the question about sculptors?
Oh, let me find it. How do you find mask sculptors? Not that I'm curious personally or anything.
Yeah. So Justin Mabry, who's our co-founder and art director, and we were friends for a while. I was really into collecting independent masks, and his company at the time, Night Owl, was my favorite.
Oh yeah.
And so when I made the decision to quit corporate America and start a Halloween business in the middle of a recession.
You crazy man.
Yeah.
Crazy man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Justin was the first call that I made because, in my opinion, he's one of the best mask makers in the world. And he also is really well connected, knows a lot of people, and the people that he associates with are trustworthy. That's really important to him and to us. And so that's primarily, but from time to time, we will see new artists at, like Mass Fest or Monsterpalooza, that we don't know, that we like their stuff, and, I'll approach them or Justin will approach them. And yeah, that's how a lot of it works. And then with films, we do our best. And even with bands, we work really hard to try and find out who made what for the movie so that we can get screen use material. For example, with our ghost costume, I reached right out to B. Ackerlud, who does all of their costuming. I reached out to, at the time, it was Jerry Constantine, who did a lot of the original masks. And then now with I just knew George, so that helped, over at Immortal. But and then the person, I haven't talked to him in a long time. I hope he's okay. I need to reach out to him. The person that did the Nameless School masks was actually a Ukrainian artist. Yes. And during the Russian-Ukraine crap that was going on, his shop got bombed.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's Bob Bassett, I think.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to reach out to him. I heard from him, about a year ago, just telling me that I'm safe, and but his shop got ruined, and that had all the stuff in there. So I need to reach out to him and especially now that I think this new album and tour will result in a new costume and mask. But I haven't heard anything yet. But yeah,
let us know when you do.
Yeah. I have a second part to that question, actually, because I perform in this mask all the time. It's like a weekly thing now for me. Who sculpted the Papa Emeritus IV mask?
That was, let me see. I think that was Jerry Constantine.
Ooh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really good.
That sculpt is absolutely stunning. It is so perfect. People often think that it's makeup when I have it on and that I'm a dude. And it's like, no, this is just a mask.
Yeah, really good mask. Casting came right out of the mold. So typically what happens when I don't know if you know the process of mask making, you sculpt it. Well, now there's a lot of digital sculpting now, but there's still, I would still say the majority is still clay sculptures. So once that clay sculpture is done, you mold it with plaster, and there's a flange in there. And once it dries, you separate it, which essentially destroys the sculpture, but the mold detail is there.
Wow.
And then you pour latex in and you let it dwell for a long time because you need a thick casting. Pour it out and then foam fill it. And that's basically what we call a tooling master. And from the tooling master, you cover that in plaster and you can make production molds. And so you cover it in plaster, it hardens, it's foam filled, so you pull it out for the next one. And our factory, we get about 20 masks per production mold. Because
I was just going to ask that. I know they wear down.
Because every time you pour latex into the mold, it absorbs into the plaster, so you're taking out some of the detail. Back in the Don Post days, he would pull like 100, 150 masks out of the molds. But
that's ambitious.
We do about 20. We get about 20. So that mask that you're wearing actually came right out of the tooling from the production mold. So for all intent and purpose, that's the mask in latex.
That makes me so happy to know. I used to work in silicone for a company called Real Doll, and I molded faces and heads, and
exactly
the deterioration, the deterioration over time was just, it was astounding. And we weren't really cranking out that much each day either with the same face, because people could choose whatever they wanted.
Right.
But they don't have a long lifespan. So, and I have a couple of your ghoul masks as well, and I noticed they're in small batch runs each time one is released. So
those are all Jerry
to see more.
Those were all Jerry too, and those are made in fiberglass, just like the screen use. So they're essentially identical. The problem with those masks is they're a little fragile, right? So shipping can be problematic, and that chrome on the chrome one that
it wears off.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's so hard. I have several in the chrome, and it took a couple of times of getting it delivered to get a whole one. So I actually had to Frankenstein and salvage the good parts out of each arrival to make a whole one work.
Now I know that's why we're doing them in latex.
Yeah.
But we have now, we started using this amazing injection molded plastic that we have proprietary use for.
I was just going to ask you about that, Chris. I was just going to ask you about that.
It does a brilliant job of detail, and it will never rot, and it displays beautifully, and you can actually hair it. So it's pretty cool. And
our faces are lighting up.
Like
I have a lot of masks. I have a lot of masks, so this is great news.
We did like the Lost Boys David mask material, and a couple others in that material, a Reagan exorcist mask. And I also found too, when you're doing likenesses, that material is more, it's better because it doesn't squish, right? So it looks more accurate on, and it's cheaper.
Which is crazy to me.
But a monster,
she and I, we both have little heads, so filling those things up, we have to pad them out.
Yeah, we have to put like pads and stuff inside our masks, otherwise they're just all.
You can get like foam at an art store, and if you're using it for latex, just make sure that you either apply little pieces of that foam here with liquid latex or rubber cement, because they're both rubber based and they won't damage the mask, and they'll attach.
So on the temples and
I usually like it like
here
and here, I think, are the best places.
Oh, because that's going to
get a good line.
Makes perfect sense.
You can also use sponges too.
That's what I used.
I used motorcycle helmet padding.
You can,
mine.
Fine. Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, that is a challenge, right? Because everybody's head size is different.
It's always different.
What we try and do is go a little over the average, and that tends to work for about 90%. Unless, of course, it's something like the Michael Myers mask. You know, Justin sculpted the mask for 2018. And we also work with Chris Nelson and Vince Van Dyke, so we were able to get toolings directly out of the screen use mold. So the size of the mask is the size of the mask. you know,
right. There's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, so there's some people, and unfortunately, James Judd Courtney had a kind of smaller head. So there were a lot of people that it didn't fit very well, but it's from the Screen Use Master. Like, you know.
People,
what are you going to do?
Yeah. People,
You know?
people want such accuracy, and we take such pride in giving, you know, our customers the exact accuracy from the film. And sometimes people say, well, why can't you make it bigger then? Why
Because it's not accurate.
Because you'd have to resculpt the whole thing.
That's not accurate.
The cool thing about digital is if you sculpt it in digital or you scan it in digital, you can proportionally increase it. So, for example, a lot of our action figures, their heads are actually the masks scanned and then proportionally brought down to like 1/6 scale, and
That's
you
cool.
still
Wow.
yeah. Have you seen the Papa 2 12-inch figure?
Oh, it is gorgeous.
Mhm.
Not seen it
It's
in
beautiful.
person. but
Really
yes.
kick ass. That's a scan of the origin of the stage use proportionally brought down to that 1/6 scale.
I just want to come and play in your office, like
I
so bad
know.
right now.
I was like, can we go to Santa Cruz or wherever this is?
I've got a
I just want to come over.
here. I've got a couple Pirates of the Caribbean and
Oh,
Ghost.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love to come hang out sometime.
Well, if you're ever up in Santa Cruz, come here and we'll go for a ride in Christine, because I have one of the 3 surviving Screen Use cars.
Oh my god!
What?
Yeah, and we can go for a ride, and I'll show you all of the places where they shot killer clowns and
Vito, we are planning a trip.
and they
We're going.
Us here too. The movie Us.
Ooh,
Oh,
that is
cool.
really
They shot that on the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. They also did Sudden Impact, that Dirty Harry movie here, and Killer Clown.
Ah, wow.
You guys have never been up to Santa Cruz ever?
I've been through there.
Yeah, it's
I've only driven through.
Well, now you have a reason to come up.
Oh yeah, we are definitely coming up. We're planning this.
Heck, let's
Mark
do
my
it.
words. We're gonna be knocking on your door soon. Let us in. I want to
Let's
see this
go
whole
play.
warehouse, too.
Yeah,
So-
oh my God. That'd be great.
You guys do a shit ton of conventions, like you were talking about. Bo, is that something that you're typically? Are you there as the rep? Chris, do you go? What's the dynamic there?
So I did a couple shows here and there. I'm a bigger dude,
Mhm.
so it's kind of hard for me to like move around as fast as it is when it comes to having a smaller person behind the booth, just because I take up a lot. This, you know, the booths are big, but they're not tremendously big because you have to share them with different size tables with other people next to you.
Uh-huh.
So, and plus, you know, all my years of killing my body in the wrestling ring, it doesn't help that I have to stand on my booth for 8 hours and bend down and, you know, give masks to customers or whatever. So it takes a lot on my body. And, you know, I'm not ashamed of that. It's just one of those things where I even said to my sales manager, hey, man, it's a little hard for me to do the conventions. I'm always there at the conventions. I'm always networking. I'm always, you know, there having it out with, you know, all
At
my
the hosting conventions.
Yeah, all the actors, all the celebrities, and all the artists that I've, you know, had the amazing time meeting through this, working with just Trick or Treat Studios. You know, it's been great. But yeah, Matt Montalto is our convention
Trade
manager.
show coordinator. Yeah, he does all of them, and he's. It is really hard work. I mean, you know, he's flying to Chicago, then to Florida, then to New Jersey, then so he's our trade show coordinator, and so he does all of those fan shows. I try and go to. I used to do them all, but I'm trying to.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's. I just can't. After 9/11, like business travel just sucks. You know, it's just the whole vibe is so negative and everybody's so pinched. It's understandable. I try and do Monsterpalooza personally. I try and go to Mass Fest, and I love Midsummer Scream. Although, unfortunately, Midsummer Scream ends, and 4 days later, I have to go to this show, is Gen Con, which is the largest tabletop gaming convention. And that's in Indianapolis. It's crazy. It makes Comic-Con look small. It's the entire Indianapolis Convention Center and the football stadium.
That's overwhelming.
Whoa.
And it's all tabletop gaming nerds, which is like my dream come true. There's another tabletop gaming convention that I really love too. It's bigger. It's called Essen. It's in Essen, Germany, and they have 250,000 1,000 attendees over 16 halls. It is
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I thought Dragon Con was big. That's the one that I always do.
Well, that's a good one. And we're
Yeah,
trying
that's a good
to
one.
do so Eric Lang, who's a really famous tabletop game designer, he's working on a rock and roll game that is like a battle of the bands. As soon as we're proving the concept right now, he's making a demo, and as soon as we get Iron Maiden signed up, I'm sure we'll get Ghost. And each player has their own band pack, and you can play songs, and I'll have Eddie come out, and you're trying to get the most victory points from the metal fans. It'll be really fun. So hopefully you'll see a tabletop game with Ghost in it as well.
How cool.
And AC/DC and Iron Maiden. And
oh my God, you guys.
It's been about 3 years in the making. Eric is
That's amazing.
A fabulous designer, but he is as slow as paint dries. So, but he's also very meticulous. So when he's done with something, it's really done. It's well tested. So hopefully you'll have a battle of the bands with a Ghost pack. Hopefully would be nice around mid next year. Would be great this time next year.
That's going to do really well because Vita and I know this from experience. We handle Ghost's current tabletop game, and it's very fragile, especially like shipping and stuff. And so for them to have something that's a bit more solid, I think
this is a card game
very well.
You'll have a card pack like this, and it will have cards. And then there's a base game that has 2 fictitious bands. Mm-hmm. And it comes with the stage and all the victory points and the tokens, and then you can buy band packs. So you could put Ghost up against Guns N' Roses, Ghost against.
Oh my God, that is hilarious! I love it.
You can screw with your opponents. So like
Eddie versus Papa.
You could pull the you could pull the power cord to their light effects, or all sorts of little fun things to.
Dude, I love it.
Oh my God, just pull the cable out of the mic. That's hilarious.
Yeah, another fun game you might like that we did that's band-based is called Troll Fest. And you have bands made up of orcs and vampires and dwarves, and you tour the countryside, and then at the end of the year is the big Troll Fest. And
this sounds like Reddit, the game.
Yeah, really fun. Yeah. So
I love it.
We'll have a little Ghost game. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You guys have so many cool things, new ideas coming. I was looking over your 2024 catalog, and there are a lot of major standouts that I made some little notes about. In particular, the Ghostbusters Slimer mask looks freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Now really good.
It's so good. I think I want to get my hands on that. Your Killer Clowns collection, again, insane. Lost Boys, Beetlejuice, the Goonies mask.
Oh, that Beetlejuice is an injection. Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one in particular. And something that I noticed was you have comic accurate and film accurate crow masks.
Yes, that is
those
true.
Look really good.
Those are injection as well. So
yeah, Vita, they look awesome.
Yeah, so we are the first ones to ever do crow based on the comic book. Mm-hmm. We've got action figures coming out for that as well. And then the Brandon Lee one. And we also signed up to do the new movie. So I hope it's good.
Nice. Oh, I hope so too.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We've done really well in pre-orders for the comic book crow, which I'm not familiar with the comic book crow that much. But I've gotten a lot of orders for it, so that's cool to see that people.
Yeah, well, Justin and I are big fans of Joe O'Barr's art.
Mm-hmm. There's also potential for so much expansion because there are so many crows. It's not just one guy.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Doctor Who goth. So, there's so many iterations of it, including a lady crow, which I've never seen represented anywhere, and I would love to see that.
I can't wait for that action figure.
Her story was incredible.
Yeah, we showed that action figure at Toy Fair, New York, and people lost their minds.
I bet.
Crazy that it's never been done before. So
It's never been done.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Ash, did you know about that?
No, that's why I'm going.
She staple guns herself together after she like crawls out of the grave. It's pretty wild. She's nuts. I love her.
That's very Vita coded.
It's very me. I do sideshow stuff and I staple gun myself. So I'm working on things for that for the stage. So I don't know.
I love sideshow. I've been a fan of it ever since I was a kid. And my favorite sideshow performer is my friend Tim Cridlin, who's as the Torture King.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do a lot of similar stuff.
Yeah. So we always do a lot of like I've known Enigma before he had a tattoo.
Yeah.
And Katzen and George the Giant. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually we do our annual Halloween party for our employees, and assuming Tim isn't busy at either Not Scary Farm.
Vita's like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna hire him to come and perform.
Amazing. I'll have to come.
Have you seen him before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's great. I would say
a lot of us work around each other in the same events but never meet, or we're booked on the same stages and never cross paths, but it's like we're on the same bill for things and it's hilarious.
Yeah, Slimenstra Hyman or Electra. She's really fun too. And
that's crazy.
She was in Guar and she's a big sideshow.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see the documentary Circus of the Scars?
Not yet, no.
Check it out. It's
I'll have to.
Great documentary about the Jim Rose sideshow.
He's a good friend of mine. I love him so much.
Yeah, cool.
He's one of my mentors.
All right.
I adore that man to pieces. Yeah. I wish he was still working in the States. He retired to France and he's just kind of doing gardening now.
Well, they got him. They interviewed him quite a bit in this documentary, so I think you'll like it.
His story is just fascinating. We're getting off topic. I'm so sorry. We'll save that for another call.
Go see Tim or Morg. They're my two favorite performers.
And I love it. You just gave an honorable mention to Guar, by the way. I noticed your Guar lines is very cool as well. You guys have that license.
Yeah, and we held nothing back. The coddlefish is there.
That's amazing.
And the giant nuts are there too. They're on. So those action figures are going to be really cool because they're old school. They're like the size of the old and build of the old He-Man.
Can't even fit through a door wearing that stuff. Just a cloud of meat.
I have a funny Guar story. I went to that NAMM show when it was years ago, and Guar walks by, and you could count like 45 seconds walk by. And the drummer is trailing behind. He's like, guys, slow down. I can't
carry it.
I'm wearing these horse hooves.
Yes.
Imagine me being a tag team with Techno Destructo, and the finish was just cool.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
So funny.
I used to wrestle with them. It was great, and it was speaking of how heavy the things were that they wear. I'd be ready to go and talking about our match and like everything. He's like still trying to put the big claw.
Oh, they're cumbersome as hell. Yeah.
But so fun.
Yeah.
I'll send you some pictures of that.
The Nameless School masks. That's got to be hard to perform in those.
Which ones?
The Nameless Schools.
I have done it, and it is awful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, I think you're talking about
the horn,
the full helmet.
Full helmet. Yeah.
But it is open here. But they're wearing a sock, which is
you got a sock on your face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're completely deafened, so unless you have an in-ear monitor,
you can't hear.
You can't, and then even the mouth, because it's cut kind of low.
Yeah.
I've had to host events wearing mine, and it's just so heavy, and it kind of slides with the padding.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to like put like a sock over my mic because it'll scrape the mask.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is really hard.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but
it's wearing a bucket on your head. Yeah, it's
probably
tricky.
Very good at hydrating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with
the little water backpack with the straw. You just put it up your balaclava and into your face.
Do they have that?
Probably.
I'm assuming, and like ice vests, probably. I hope they've caught on to ice vests.
I would do it.
So
I would do it. Shit.
You guys, you said that you have over 100 licenses right now?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, obviously, so you've probably already ticked off the list of your dream clients and dream licenses, is there anyone you have your eyes on though? Because it kind of seems like you've hit all the marks already.
Yeah.
Well, some of the core ones, I would love Freddie and Jason to open up a little bit more, because I would love to do more.
But there's legal stuff you said at this point.
I don't know if that's going to happen. As far as a dream, it's been very elusive for us, which is, I don't know why, but I'd love to work with Disney, specifically Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh my God, if you guys did a Hitchhiking Ghosts thing, that would be so amazing.
I've been trying for years, and it's been really challenging, especially because we were really good licensors for 20th Century Fox, and it got absorbed by Disney, so everything kind of went. But I've had some recent conversations with them where I feel a little bit more optimistic. It's just explaining to them that, we're not a one-night cheap costume.
No.
And there's plenty of market for that, but nobody is handling the middle to upper end. And that's a very large gap in your offering. And it's there's just a lot of layers with that company. So that would definitely be a dream. I am excited. We just recently got chosen to be the exclusive licensor for costuming for Fallout.
Nice. Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
That one should be fun. And but yeah, I would like to do some Disney properties, specifically those two, because I went on the Haunted Mansion opening day, but I was in my mom's stomach in the summer of 1969, and she said I was giggling the whole time. It was funny too, because my brother, I think he was 6 at the time, and they waited 2.5 hours to get in, and the guy goes, "Welcome to the Haunted Mansion." My brother shit, and he wanted to get out of there. He was so scared, and my mom's like, "I just waited. I'm pregnant. 2.5 hours. You're going on this thing." So it would be cool to do Haunted Mansion stuff and pirate stuff, and
I would love to see that.
That work there, so we would have access to real material.
Right. Wow.
Here's a quiz for Sister Ash.
Uh-oh.
Who's the voice? Who's the voice that welcomes you into the Haunted Mansion?
I know this, but I'm awful under pressure.
Well, you don't got to tell me the name. Give me another character that he's played.
I'm so bad under pressure, but I know who it is.
Cyril.
Tony the Tiger.
It's okay.
Really?
Thank you.
But is it the same voice for both parks, the one in Orlando? Because the mansions are different experiences at both parks.
I don't know. That's up to you. Would know that, Chris.
You can absolutely hear him when he sings "Grim Grinning Ghost."
Oh, really? And you're like, oh, okay.
Have you ever been to the one in Paris?
No.
It's really cool. It's totally different. Yeah, the story is about a bride who was waiting for her fiance to marry, and her father murders him. Oh, he found out, and so she dies and is waiting in the house, and it takes you through the village and him murdering the husband, the groom, and yeah, it's really cool.
Okay,
Disney. How morbid! How delightfully morbid.
Yeah, it's very different. In fact, I think they call it Haunted Manor.
Oh, wow.
Think so, yes.
Yeah,
there was a whole documentary on the lineage of the Haunted Mansion and some of the other rides, which is why I know who did the voice. It's been a minute, so I can't remember. But yeah, they went over like the one, I think there's one in Japan.
Yep.
Right? Like they're all over the world. They went through the story of each one and the different architecture on them and how different every single one is. That's so cool. You're getting a different experience each time.
Supposed to be a walkthrough.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the problem was that they couldn't get people through fast enough to make the line work. So
because otherwise they're bunching up and going, look at that.
Buggies, which is actually off site. So you go down the escalator and you cross under, and then there's a big building there. There's a big building there, and
Clap on the lights.
Where the ride experience is.
Yeah, it's
That's amazing.
It's this huge warehouse, right? Just
Yeah.
kind of off.
You go online and look like a haunted mansion over, like aerial shot, you'll see it. Yeah.
I think it's like that at the Magic Kingdom Orlando too. You see the mansion and then there's like a whole back building to it.
Exactly.
It's very cool. Yeah, that park itself, the construction of it is incredible. It's its own universe. It's craziness.
Yeah, you should go to the one in France. It's crazy because you can smoke and there's alcohol and it's not.
Let's take a clove onto the haunted mansion.
It's kind of like Disneyland's.
What, Chris?
Is what I call it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine smoking a clove at the haunted mansion?
Yeah.
Can they bring a hookah?
Never be this goth, guys.
Definitely check it out. And their Pirates of the Caribbean is amazing. And their the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad goes like almost across the whole park. It's a trip.
Oh, that's one of the coolest rides too.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That's a really fun one.
I have a really funny candid picture of Chris on the Thunder Mountain. I should share.
Is he crying?
Video.
Okay.
Oh, it's a video.
He's
Yeah,
not crying.
Video.
We try to do incredibly bored ride photos when we go to parks. Like we'll just sit there like.
Yeah, we'll just be like
on the Tower of Terror, and everyone around us is flying out of their seats and screaming. We're just like
falling asleep on the other one's shoulder.
I wish they kept it Twilight Zone.
Oh, that was a fun one.
We just got our Twilight Zone license back, so you should check out our Talkie Tina doll. It's got everything she says, and it's amazing. And
maybe I'll grab a pig woman face thing. That could be fun.
Can I make a small suggestion, you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've never done Monsterpalooza, right?
I've performed at Monsterpalooza. Wait, no, I did Midsummer Scream.
Okay, that's what I was going to say because Midsummer Scream is this month, and that's one of our favorites to be there as well.
Yeah, that's really cool with the dark.
Really fun, and there's a lot of cosplay, and it's really dark, and there's different attractions, that fans can go into when it comes to mini haunts, and the after party there is phenomenal. I mean,
they grew it crazy too.
Yeah,
I remember in the first year it was in like the most janky building in downtown LA.
Aww.
It was crazy. But my daughter, we sat next to she's a Sydney as well, so we sat next to Sid Haig, and those two hit it off. Yeah, and so they hit it off. So yeah.
Sid had the best conversations. He was so fun to talk to.
Very nice guy. Yeah.
Very sweet guy. Yeah.
Miss him a lot. He lived out here where I lived in Simi Valley, so I would see him at the dollar store all the time.
Aww.
That guy was definitely a treasure. Yeah.
So you, I mean, we've already talked about this. This podcast leans a little bit towards ghosts stuff. I would love to go over your ghost line. What have you had? What's your best sellers? What are you guys going to be offering soon?
So I'm looking at everything now. We did a lot of pins and air fresheners and busts and ornaments. Of course, there was the deluxe Papa 2, the robe, which does really, really well. The hat, the Papa 3 mask. We did masks for Cardinal Copa and Papa 4, and I really like the Cardinal Copa costume. That thing turned out really well.
Was that the black robe?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's really
have
good.
that in there too.
Yep, she's got that one too.
I've got that whole closet full of that shit. I love it.
Yeah. So coming up is the 1/6 sale Papa 2 action figure. And then I'm just going to keep our eyes and ears open when they're ready to move forward with the new either Cardinal or Papa. I don't know. All I know it's this twin brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Twin brother, the new guy.
Yeah.
But he's got the Pope hat.
The new guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we did Papa Zero's costume and his mitre as well.
Oh.
It's a real bummer though that my factory lost the hat. Yeah, and I'm not kidding you, just material alone was $7,000.
You guys.
I know, it's
oh my God.
I didn't know that, Chris.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it was.
Wait, we sent them the actual nil. Which one?
Papa Zero.
Oh,
Papa
geez.
Nil.
Yeah, and
they lost it.
They lost it. Yeah. And
Oh,
as far as I
dude.
know, I mean, there were only 2 on the planet: the one that they wear and the one that I have.
One in the case.
Need to get
Yeah.
for the Paint Master. Yeah, no, that one's devastating. But we do make those as well.
I did see those. Were you guys making a Papa Nil mask at one point?
We did.
Where did that go? Because I saw that circulating a little bit and then it disappeared.
Yeah, well, we were asked to discontinue it because there was a new actor that plays him.
Oh, that makes more
So
sense.
they wanted to do one with the new actor. So that's still on the table. So that's being
cool.
The new actor version will see the light of day.
I feel like we're getting so many secrets here. This is nice.
It's not stuff that they, can't tell anyone, but it's just, kind of the ins and outs of the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit that happens.
They want to keep it current.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Very nice.
Well, I'm really excited about all the stuff that you guys have coming out. Like I said, I was watching a video of some guy going over your entire 2024 catalog, and there are a lot of amazing standouts on there. So congratulations, you guys.
Cool. Thank you.
Ash. Appreciate that.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible.
The 1/6 scale Papa is going to, I mean, I've already gotten probably, if I had to take a wild guesstimate, over probably like 40 to 50 orders of just him, from customers.
Nice.
So
I've got my eye on that guy. That's my husband.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The fabric, the material that we're going to use for his robe, is pretty rad too.
Yeah, Tanella, she does all of our costumes for the action figures, and they're fabulous.
Wait till you see the cover work. I'm sure. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, that's going to be fun. So he's going to come in his own package. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
He'll be in like a box where you open it, magnet, and the window is there with all the pieces.
I can't wait to see the fan unboxing videos. Look at this thing, you guys.
Those are so fun.
Look at it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Would you look at it?
Look at how beautiful I'm going.
It's supposed to ship in July, so coming up
nice
on the 15th. So yeah,
very soon.
I'm putting in my order for that. Do you guys have any upcoming events you want to plug before we let you guys go? I know you're extremely busy.
Well, we'll be at Midsummer, so we'll see you there. We'll be at Gen Con, so we'll see the gamers there. And obviously in your neck of the woods, Son of Monsterpalooza.
October, Son of Monsterpalooza.
October, okay.
Yeah. And then we'll be out just to go and do my annual pilgrimage to Universal Halloween Horror Nights and Not Scary Farm.
Let's go.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's all go.
Yeah, we're doing a couple. Every year we do a couple of the mazes. We do costuming and masks for a few of the mazes for Halloween Horror Nights. I think they should do a ghost one, to tell you the truth.
There was a rumor going around.
I'd be so happy.
There was a rumor going around. It comes around about every Halloween that Ghost is doing an installation there, and I'm like,
no.
It's the same management team that does Rob Zombie, and they've done Rob before, and they've done Ozzy before, and Black Sabbath. So I think Ghost is. Don't be surprised if we don't see it.
I'll send John Murdy a personal text, and I'll say, "Hey man, we need Ghost."
We're getting hounded here. Our emails are exploding with requests for this thing. You should listen. Yeah.
I think it would do really well. And we certainly have the costumes for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All righty, guys. I'm going to let you go. Chris, Bo, Mother Vita Devoid, thank you for coming in today and chatting. I had a lot of fun.
This was great. Thank you.
This is the moment to let go, huh?
Yes.
Aww.